Giving this another shot. Let's see. Okay, it says your stream quality is good, so hopefully that fixed things. Hey Alonzo, can you see me and hear me and everything looks good now? Five out of 5, awesome. Yeah, I guess every now and then I just need to restart my computer and then things magically get fixed. Amazing how that works. Okay, great. So we'll just ignore, you know, the first part of the stream that happened there and that game that I blundered while I was trying to fix my internet. And none of that really counts. So, Past Pawn, if you're in the chat, I'm happy to give you that game now. He may have gone off considering my stream was not really working. Would not blame him one bit. And for the first time ever, I want my Lichess friends list here, and it's not there. Difference Edge. Yeah, it looks like he's in a game right now. Yeah, he just started a classical game. Although if he doesn't move, maybe we've got a chance. Ah, he moved. Okay. Well, I guess I'll play another game in the meantime. Maybe we can get a game with him next. Yes, I'm black. Maybe I can get to play my con. Also, another provisional rating. Wow, this guy's 1470 Blitz and 2000 Classical. I haven't done the shout-out thing yet, if that's what you were looking for. So I need to do that. Ah, I want this guy to go. He might be way overrated in Classical, and I can get some easy points. Darn. And I had black, so there was like a 60% chance it could have been a con Sicilian. Yes, I'm black again. Man, no one wants to play against me. Come on. There you go, E4. Come on, let's do it. Yes. Con. Really? That worked? You can just do things like that? Queen C7 exclam. Yeah, you really must be a wizard. Look at this active queen. Okay, well I just watched a video with this in which Bishop C5 was the move played. Trying to make sure that wasn't some different position. But yeah, I think Bishop C5, and then if here I just come back. The idea is just to not let the knight post up on D4. Actually, I think that line, maybe Queen C7 hadn't been played, but maybe the same ideas will apply. Yeah, so in that game, Queen G4 was played, provoking G6. I I think I should play knight f6 now so I can castle and not have to worry about queen g4. So I'll do that. Okay, I'm just gonna develop this knight. Just get ready to stop e5. Okay, well, e5 is gonna be difficult to stop. I guess maybe just d6 in this position, although one of the things I've liked about the Khan so far is that I can often just play d5 in one move. But I don't think I want to allow e5, so maybe d6. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and play that. Got to time d5 precisely. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, so in the games that I've gotten to play so far in the Khan, I've gotten to play d5, and I think in all of those games, the king was over here, and I got to do fun stuff. So, I don't like this as much, but hopefully I'll still have time, still be able to equalize. I don't know if I have yet, probably not. He's definitely beating me in development, so thinking I should just castle here. Especially considering there could be some threats on f7 coming. My opponent, who's named Disconnect, has low internet. Poor connection. Could be a sign of things to do. Yeah, I mean, white does look better. Although, I mean, I'm hoping I can, you know, get stuff on these diagonals and cause him some problems. Okay. So he's trying to line up on h7, so I'm wondering about maybe knight b4. Kind of forces his bishop off that diagonal if he would like to keep it. Yeah, and if he moves the bishop, then this pawn falls. And, I mean, this pawn might fall too. Not immediately. So... I'm wondering if e5 can still be played after knight b4. I could play e5 myself with tempo, that just feels anti-positional. Yeah, I mean, I think e5 can still be played. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna play e5 myself, because I don't like the looks of it. It feels wrong, but I just... It seemed like I was getting in trouble in a lot of other lines. Yeah, I can look at your stream real quick. Oh, Alonso's on it? That's probably better, that'll help me focus. Well... I'm not gonna think too much. I don't believe I'm getting mated, so... Yeah, he just missed that discovered attack, so... I guess c5 was a good move. I thought my threats weren't that subtle, but... Yeah, so the computer is saying that white has an advantage. Let's see. Computer likes c5, okay. So I spent forever and played the best move, it looks like. So I was thinking if I played this, yeah, the computer really likes e5. Wow. I didn't think it was +5, but I couldn't get around this line. And if I take, he can take with the pawn, and then I've got 2 pieces hanging, so I'm just losing a piece. Although I guess I had this check that I didn't realize I had. But yeah, maybe that check could have saved me, but still looks really scary letting him have a pawn on f6, and maybe he's taking and getting a lot of pressure. So wait, what's going on? My audio is just on over there. If that's all it is, that's probably fine. I don't know why you'd want to hear me rambling on your stream, but oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's okay. We'll say at least for now that's fine. Maybe one day I'll change my mind, but I don't really care at this point. So yeah. I am just getting crushed here. And then I really didn't see what else I could do. I didn't want to play... I wasn't thinking about moving my h-pawn. I thought if I was gonna try to do something, I would maybe play g6, but then I thought f5. So, it looks like e5 had to be played. Okay, so let's quickly look at the opening going on here. Yeah, I mean, just let me know whenever you want to play a game past pawn. Hey, how's it going, Siren? Thanks for stopping by. Helping me get my viewer numbers up. So I got to play the con. Yay! Okay, so I should know this since bishop d3 is apparently the main move here. This is the first time someone's played the main move against me. So knight f6 was actually correct, not bishop c5, but bishop c5 can be played. And black is doing pretty well in bishop c5. But knight f6 is the main move. So I'm not really sure about what the different ideas is. I mean, my understanding is in the con, knight f6, knight c6, b5 are all ideas in the first few moves. Bishop c5, knight b3, bishop... Oh, you like that line? Or bishop a7. Bishop a7 makes some sense because I'm staying on diagonal of his king, assuming that he goes kingside, which it really looks like he will. So I guess this line was okay. His knight really didn't do anything on b3 the rest of the game. Granted, it was a very short game, but yeah, I don't have the fancy lurk command built in. I saw that on your stream earlier. So does that actually do anything, or is it like, does it just post that message that says you're lurking? I just got Nightbot set up like a few days ago, so I'm still tinkering with that. Yeah, the top game here is this Fiddler game, and he played bishop e7, so... I got you. Yeah, I mean, Siren, if you want to participate and play some chess, I would be honored to do so, but I kind of figured you weren't going to. I figured you were probably just going to sit and watch. Either way, I'm just glad you're here. So bishop e7, apparently the favored of Alonso and Spidler and other great players. D6 here. I'm thinking maybe I've gotten into my head too much that in the con I want to try to play d5 in one move, and I'm going to be resistant to playing d6 in positions where it's called for. But okay, knight f6 is fine. Yeah, and the main move is for white to just play f4 directly. Yeah, I mean, it's a very rewarding game to learn, but it's not for the faint of heart. It takes years, especially as adults. It takes forever. I guess you're not a wizard after all, Alonso. Shame. Okay. So we're basically out of book here at this point. Yeah, go watch Alonso's stream, everybody. I don't think Alonso really streams, but if he does, go watch it. Now f4, and I thought forever. Oh no, I played d6. Okay, so d6 is like the main move here, although it looks like white's scoring pretty well. Queen f3. So it says castling's wrong, and I should just play bishop d7. Oh, queen g3 was annoying? Oh, now it likes queen h3 from him. Well, let's see. I'll try it. Siren of this. Nope. Well, I'll just have to fix that later, but that's no big deal. Nah, you cheated, Alonso. You did that manually, didn't you? I know you did, because I know she wasn't playing chess. Okay, I guess I'll find another game. Maybe we can get another con. No, I'm white. Alright, time to play the reverse con. Haven't I already played this game? C6 and D5. Then that guy played bishop F5. Ah, this guy with the novelty. Going into the semi-Slav. Again, I don't know if I'm supposed to play E3. I think I'm supposed to play E3. The knight C3 and queen C2 are probably possible also. And maybe bishop F4. But I've gotten in trouble with bishop F4. Bishop F4 can't be right. Well, if bishop F4 is not right, then I probably should just play E3. Thank you. Okay, now let's play the knight here. Okay, he's pinning me. I'm thinking this is one of those positions where I should play knight d2, maybe? I don't have to address the pin right away, because I'm not going to be irritated if he does this. So maybe like bishop d3. I want to put an eye on this square somehow or another. Bishop d2 is possible too, perhaps. But bishop d2 takes away knight d2, so maybe I don't want to do that. Alright, I'm just going to go bishop d3. Okay, I'm very happy with that. So let's just castle. Maybe back to d3 is better to keep him out of e4. I want to do my usual like caveman threats, but I can do it this way too, so. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to b3. I don't think knight e4 worries me too much. After queen d3, like if he plays f5, that's really softening up e5. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do queen d3 now. I'm guessing he wants to play b4 or a4, but b4 seems more annoying of the two. Okay, I think I'm just gonna play knight e5. Seems like that makes it tricky for him to develop, because this pawn's pretty weak. And if b4, there's not really a threat. I mean, I don't think I mind too much if he trades off here. That kind of kills his advantage here. And if a4, I wanted to play bishop c2 anyway. Okay, well now b4's a little more serious. I mean, I still have c4 that I could play. But then he's getting a 2-to-1, which may not be the best way to play. But also, if this, I'm opening up the possibility of knight d5. Maybe opening up's not the right word because that possibility is already there. But my pawn's pretty annoyingly pinned if I play c4. Although his knight may not be able to move. Okay, I'm just gonna do bishop c2 as planned. I think the c4 idea is okay. I just have to be careful. I like these positions where I've always got a mate threat on my opponent. Okay, so if c4, I didn't see an easy way for him to bring another piece into the attack. Like to try to put pressure on c4. I mean, like this, but this hangs. Possibly I'm threatening knight g4. I'm also thinking about maybe bringing a rook in like this, or h3. Well, knight g4 I need to calculate. Knight g4 seems pretty tough. Just threatening a mate in 2. He can't take it. He can't play g6 or he loses the knight. How else can he defend h7? He can't even try to deflect my queen with like bishop takes c4 because knight takes f6 is check. I think knight g4 just wins. Oh, I guess knight g4, knight bd7. Yeah, he's fine there. So g4 is another idea. A little slow. I'd need to play h4, g4, or g5 if I'm going to go for that. I could mix things up and play bishop a4. Maybe e4. e4 looks good. Just worried if my plans don't come to fruition, then d4 is pretty soft. Yeah, I think e4 is good. Let's see what else he could do. Yeah, I like e4. Basically preparing knight g4. Because now knight g4, I can follow up with e5. If knight b d7, I can take. He has to take with the queen, and then I play e5. Hey, Metal Eagle, how's it going? Glad I got to catch a little bit of your stream earlier on. Yeah, I think unfortunately I caught just the tail end of your stream, but definitely enjoyed it. So I saw that your stream title was something to the effect of yay or nay chess, and I got the impression, based on like the 15 minutes that I watched, that was some variant, but I'm not familiar with that variant. Am I on the right track with that? I'm a little worried in this position that if black is able to defend well, that I'll just be worse. But I think now taking here, like, well, I guess he could take with the knight now that this isn't a threat, but e5 either way seems sort of difficult. I guess g6. That hangs the h6 pawn. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for that line. I think that's the best he can do. Basically a more educational and fun version of Hand and Brain. So is it something, I mean, I'm curious just what the rules are. I don't know if it's something that you can easily type out, or maybe I'll just have to catch another stream sometime. Yeah, I mean, you've piqued my curiosity, because it's not too often that you see people say, yeah, I invented a chess variant, and other people actually like it. So I thought here, e5, I'm just winning the knight. I'm a little worried about d4, but if I'm gonna win a piece, I'm not too worried. My center looks really tenuous. Hopefully I'm not just missing something here, but... I think he either has to let me take, or he's gonna have to, like, maybe take on c4. I don't know if taking on c4 even wins a pawn. Because, like, if takes... Okay, that's one way to lose the knight. Yeah, then this is kind of annoying. I'm guessing... Well, if he plays f5, I can take on passant. I guess maybe his king can run away. I'm taking the knight one way or the other, so... Yeah, Man, bishop takes h6. How's it going, Waza 2006? I'm just wondering if I should address this or if I should just go ahead and take here. Probably just take on h6. Threatening the rook, and I'm threatening to sneak in with mate somehow. I guess he can take here and he's threatening the rook, my rook, but... But if I'm able to play queen g6, it's just going to be game over. Alright, let's take it. Two people. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. And I guess ideally both white and black would have this privilege. Okay, I think queen f6 he can stop fairly easily. But I'm thinking queen h4 and then finagle the bishop around here is going to be a lot more difficult. Possibly impossible. So queen h4 first or bishop g5 first? Queen h4 also opens up some possibilities for the light square bishop. Thinking he's going to need to play like f6 at some point, which is a sad move to play. Okay, I think queen h4 looks a little better. Yeah, let's play. If you're free, I'm hoping this game, I think this game's going to be over in 2 moves, because I think queen f7, I don't see how he stops mate. So yeah, if you're ready, we can go ahead and do that. I don't see what he does here. Do I use Discord or Zoom? Do I? Yeah, that doesn't work. Alright, that was fun. Oh, sorry, I missed that Waza wanted to play. Yeah, I'll play you first, Waza. I'm sorry, I completely missed that you had requested a game. But yeah, if you'll send me a challenge on Lichess, be happy to play you. So sorry, Past Pawn Patrol, I missed that I had another challenge. Yeah, I think I was just in control this whole game. Awesome. I'm surprised that... I wasn't really sure if people would use the Discord, but I guess people are using it, so that's great. Yeah, sure, I'll send you a challenge once we're done with this next game. So yeah, Waza, if you're still around, send me a challenge on Lichess. I'm gonna quickly analyze this game. I don't think there's a whole lot here to see. Oh, Queen C2 was the main move here? I knew that there were some semi-Slav positions where you're still supposed to play Queen C2. I learned Queen C2 in the Slav... I learned that the idea was to prevent Bishop F5, and obviously in the semi-Slav, Bishop F5 isn't happening. So I tend to discount Queen C2 once E6 has been played, but it was just the correct move here. But it looks like all the moves I was considering were possible. Queen C2, E3, Knight C3. The only other move I considered was Bishop F4, which is not here at all, basically, so I'm guessing that was one of those opening blunders that I make a lot. So yeah, E6 is fine. Knight F6, Bishop D3 was the main move. Knight C3 is fine. That's one thing I like about these D4 lines is often a lot of the moves the move order seems like isn't super important, like it can be in other lines, in other openings. Bishop D3 is the main move here. Yeah, I was very surprised that he took. That seems like he's giving me the bishop pair for no reason. I don't know what the compensation is, and he's giving away his good bishop when he's got all these light square pawns. So I was happy to see that. Just castle. Queen A5 is the only move that's been played in this position before. And it does prefer Bishop D3. I'm already +2 here. Yeah, I guess he was worried about Knight G5, but don't think there was much to worry about yet. Looks like both players played inaccurately the next few moves. The computer's saying I kind of frittered away my advantage. Because I'm letting him play C5 here. Because there's a pin on this pawn. Yeah, so that makes total sense. So Bishop C2 first, then I can play Queen D3, and when the queen's defended, C5's not a threat, so... Yeah, that's a move order point. I guess we're really out of the opening here, but... Okay, and it wanted me to play Bishop C2 again. I thought I should play Knight E5 before he played Knight BD7. Because, I saw that it would make it uncomfortable for this knight to develop. And I just worried if I played Bishop C2 that maybe he would get this move in. And I'm kind of missing out on, a well-placed knight that's attacking this pawn, and if he ever tries to kick me with f6, this pawn's g6 is already weak because of h6. So but the computer says this just gives away my advantage. He should play c5 now. Yeah, okay, so the computer's, it's just still the same point of that this pin is problematic. So that's the same issue. Yeah, bishop a6 seemed a little ambitious. It was scary. I mean, it looks like a nice diagonal for the bishop. But I've got threats that he probably should address. Now rook d1. It still really wants me to defend that queen, I guess. But bishop c2 does it. Computer says this is still okay for black. Yeah, and c4 was fine. And yeah, I guess he didn't see my ideas of trying to distract this knight. Really, bishop b2 was crushing. Or not, maybe not crushing, but big advantage. Now it likes knight g4. But it looks like bishop b2 is the main move it likes. Well, that's certainly another way to try to dislodge the knight. Just takes a few moves. I'm getting a lot of pressure on the knight. I'm guessing that's what the computer wants. I still see e4 in the line. Well, that's the f4 line. Bishop b2, f4. Okay, not really sure what the difference is. Again, c5 should be played. What does c5 do? Oh, that's interesting. c5, it wants me to sack my bishop. I did wonder if there was ever a moment I could do that. So if c5, why can't I play this? Oh, well, it's not open yet. Yeah. Yeah, I guess after e4, I don't really have a plan. Like, if he doesn't give me something to do with this knight, then I don't really have an attack. So I guess my flaw was I kind of just assumed that knight bd7 was going to have to be played. And then when it is, I'm looking good. Yeah, and he should take with the knight. And he'd lose the h6 pawn, I think. Computer doesn't seem like it's going for that line. But yeah, now it's problems. Okay, taking h6 was correct. Yeah, I mean, it's just completely busted. Queen h4 was correct. I'm happy that I played accurately here. Thanks, Alonso. I mean, both moves, every move completely wins, but it's nice to play the accurate move. Yeah, I thought he had to play f6 at some point. Or f5, I guess, but... and yeah, now it's just mate in 2. Alright, well, let's get the rematch with Past Pawn Patrol going. Hopefully I'll have a little bit better showing this time than last time. We'll see if he lets me play the Khan as we discussed yesterday. Oh, he's gonna let me do it. Maybe. Yeah, good luck, sir. Oh, I almost played d6 just on instinct. Alright. It's Khan time. Okay, and he's gonna play a line that I don't know. Well, I guess I'm not gonna be playing d5. I want to play queen c7, but I don't know if it's right. Queen c7, well, no. It's possible bishop f5 is also good in this, although the queen's defending the knight, so that doesn't make as much sense. Alright, I'm just gonna play queen c7. Okay, so no bishop b4 check. Alright, I'm just gonna play knight f6. Possibly. Let's see how long this game takes and how much energy I have afterwards. Trying to decide where I want to deploy these pieces. Okay, I think I'm just going to play knight c6 since I know that's a common idea, and I don't think I need to overthink this position. thought about trying to be aggressive with bishop c5, but I don't think I want to risk... I don't think I want to, you know, get a situation where my dark square bishop's traded off, because I got all this action going. Okay. Alright, I'll just castle. Expect he'll do the same. Now it seems like it's decision time with the bishop. Thinking I want to fianchetto. Yeah, let's just get the bishop involved that way. And I might be just about out of ideas soon, so how my opponent plays will probably shape next 5 or so moves, I would guess. This is already much better than my first game against Passed Pawn. I was probably lost by move 10 in that first game. Or very nearly lost. Maybe I should have looked at b5 in that position. I guess it's just hanging, so I guess I shouldn't have looked at it. My impression is that in the con, I want to play d5 and b5, and he's done pretty well at not letting me play those things. Yeah, I'm down to review the game with whomever. Okay, I wondered if f3 would need to be played. I mean, I think I still pretty much have to follow through with bishop b7. I think we're about to be in a position where all of our pieces are developed and then we don't know what to do. At least I don't know what to do. Maybe he has some ideas. Hmm. Okay. So in the previous position, I was wondering if knight a5 was anything. I feel like it's better now with my rook on c8. Yeah, it looks good. What's the rub here? Alright, let's find out. Looks good. Hey, Heaven Owned, how's it going? So yeah, in the previous position I saw that Queen d3 would defend the pawn, but now with the extra attacker, I don't know. Seems like maybe I'm winning material here. I'm not positive. Well, give me a minute, Heaven Owned. Unless you mean for him. If you mean for him, I don't know. I don't know what happens there. But yeah, that was part of the idea. Was I'm threatening the pawn, and I'm also threatening e5, distracting his knight from this square. Yeah, that's my thought. I'm just not sure if it actually works tactically. There might be some defense, or he might have some counter-attacking ideas. I think this is the first time that I've actually made him think. Okay, so that seems like it just concedes the pawn, and the bishop pair with it. Just want to make sure there's not any trick with bringing a rook over, but I'm on the queen right away, so I think this is pretty safe. Well, yeah, maybe after bishop takes, queen takes, rook ac1. He'll definitely take with the light sword bishop, because that's his bad bishop. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like the queen could get in trouble. I mean, e5 is also a move here. I think I'm gonna take it. And then I'm thinking takes, rook a c1, and queen back to c7. Queen gets pretty passive, but... Hey, I won a pawn, and I won the bishop pair. Yeah, I think I really have to go queen c7 now to get safe. Ah, it probably still doesn't work. Yeah, it probably still doesn't work. Well... Alright, I think queen c7 is the only move. I guess I'm okay. Famous last words. If here I've got queen d8, which is getting pretty passive. Oh, actually this doesn't work. I need queen d6. Yeah, queen d8 just fails to rook takes rook. Oh no, my bishop can take. Man, I'm really curling up in a ball there, though. But okay. Queen d6 if he takes here. What was I seeing there? I thought maybe he was getting a discovery, like if I take with my bishop, then he gets a discovery on my queen on d6. Okay, so gotta take with the bishop, that's forced. Yeah, I'm hoping that the pawn is... I'm hoping he doesn't have enough compensation for the pawn. My pieces look pretty darn passive. Although he does have a knight hanging. And, I mean, I played him yesterday, and this was like the same thing that happened. He tried to give me a pawn, and then he got tremendous compensation. Although I don't think I was ever up a pawn in that game. The other thing to note is, he keeps his dark squared bishop, and I'm stuck with my light squared bishop. So I would say he's got the superior minor piece. His knight's probably better than my knight. My gut feeling is that there's compensation. I don't know if it's enough, but... He's also got a pretty decent time edge. Yeah, and that's an annoying move. Okay, let's make Luft not war. See what he does. I anticipate maintaining the pin. And I might be obligated to play g5 here, because e5. And if d6, knight c6 looks pretty good. I don't want to play g5, but I think I might have to. I guess I could play e5. Ah, that gives away knight f5. And I'd like to play d5 someday. Somehow. Okay, I guess g5 it is. I don't think there's a sack here. Maybe he can force a draw with a sack there, but I don't think he can. I don't think the queen alone is gonna get enough support. Yeah, I mean, if I can activate my pieces, I should be doing better. We just gotta kind of untangle a bit here. Yeah, 10 viewers, what's going on here? What, are you people all stuck at home? That's good, that helps me get my numbers up. You're stuck at home? No way. We're all stuck at 1950, yeah, I feel that. There's still a lot of this game to go, and I've only got 5 minutes on my clock. Okay, so possible threat on b6 coming. Appreciate the follow, Silent Knight. Okay, I think I just want to activate. Don't know what I'm going to do about b6 yet. I mean, at least I don't think his knight really has a productive move to threaten b6. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to come get me. Didn't see that idea. That is pretty annoying. Okay, I guess knight h7. Not really activating my pieces. And now a choice. I guess I'm taking with the knight, but the pin's pretty annoying. F4 could be annoying if queen takes. Ah. Oh, no. Well. Okay, I'm gonna take with the knight. Getting a little loose over here. Yeah, I think if bishop there, I could have played knight h3 check. Okay, he's unleashing a myriad of threats here. Doesn't seem like I can defend everything. If d5 is okay here, I'm pretty pleased to have gotten that move in. Okay. Oh. I didn't see this one. Man, queen's almost trapped. Yeah, and if queen e8, that looks pretty scary, but I don't think I have any tricks to avoid queen e8. Could sack the exchange, but that seems a little drastic. The bishop's pretty good, but... yeah, I don't think I can justify sacking the exchange, but am I going to get crushed if I play queen e8? Seems like he needs a few moves, but both moves are scary. I don't know, this seems less scary. I really don't know. Man, did I not see bishop d8. I think I see a problem now, though. Oh, no, I have to go here. Yeah, I've got to give my knight a square. Thought my knight was getting trapped for a second. Gonna be tough. I mean, this situation over here is not so good. My 4 on 2 is not gonna be... It's not the healthiest 4 pawns. So. Try to get that guy active. Okay, so at least one person in the chat agreed with sacking the exchange. Ah, what to do? I do not know what to do at all. I don't know. Losing on time. You think Queen E8 was fine? Yeah, we'll see after the game, I guess. Yeah, E3 was probably fine. I guess I was worried about losing it, but at least I'm giving a better square to my knight. I thought knight d5 was just dropping the pawn. Okay. Is it a fortress? Yeah, I agree. I think the queenside's going to be difficult. But now at least I'm getting a chance to do this. Or probably more accurately this. That was a... Well, trade knights. That's going to make the h-pawn difficult to hang on to. Okay. I don't think it's going to be easy. This was my dream for the bishop, was to get on this diagonal with the pawn. You think it's easy now? Yeah, that's a really good move. I didn't see that was possible. I'm almost out of moves here. Oh, you think it's easy to draw? Well, he just gave me a ton of time, so that helps. He didn't need to do that, but I appreciate it. But yeah, that's what I'm wondering, is if he can sack the rook and just get a passer on like the A file or B file. Yeah, where he can just be really direct. Yeah, I think B5 just wins. I'll play a few more moves, but I think it's pretty lost. I think the only thing really left, the only challenge for him left is going to be getting the rook out of the way, but shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, let's see. Rook f7's coming next, no matter what I do. Yeah, I mean, I'll play a move, but I'm positive he sees what's happening here. You're timed out for 1 second. Yeah, no, it's a good point, Alonso. I appreciate it. I did see the idea of I want to avoid letting him move the rook with check, but I mean, now he's just promoting. So, it's resignable anyway. So, good game, sir. That was a much better game than the last time we played. Yeah, I just wonder what things would have looked like if I'd played Queen E8. That just looked like really difficult because my king's alone on the G and H files, and like even though it's slow getting his knight and rook over, it's also slow getting my rook and queen over to defend. Um, yeah, we can chat on Discord to analyze if you like. Hopefully that won't slow up my computer too much. Let's see. I don't think it will. I've had Discord running, just not. Let's see. Can I? How do I do this? I've done this before. Oh, here we go.
That's very good.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
So if you want, you can join. Pardon?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, great. Good game, Pass Pawn. That was a really fun game.
I don't know about fun for you, but fun for me.
Well, it was challenging. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm interested to see what the computer says. I was happy to be up a pawn. I'm not sure. I mean, you definitely had compensation. I'm not. I wasn't sure if who really had the advantage there for a lot of the game, but it felt like a competitive game.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that much either. Like I felt like I had compensation, and
Yeah.
honestly, I really hated every option I had of defending the pawn with moves like Queen E2. Not Queen E2, Queen D3. That just seems so passive and just docile.
So I think Queen. I need to go back and look at the position. Yeah, I guess didn't I have enough guys on the pawn? Couldn't I still have taken it with Queen D3? Because I played Rook C8, so I had Knight, Rook,
Yeah,
and
but
Queen on it. I thought you only had Queen and Bishop.
yeah, that's true. So I couldn't have even defended the pawn at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing the computer analysis now, and it said White had an advantage the entire game. That surprises me a bit. I felt like I had something there, but the computer's not impressed.
But one of the more decisive errors of the game was allowing Bishop D8 with on move 26.
Yeah,
on
no,
move
I,
27.
yeah, I would say that was the decisive error. I didn't see that as an idea at all. So yeah, that was a great move.
Yeah, I can understand why it's a bit out of nowhere, and you did find the right response to it as well with Rook D8.
Oh, you think
Because
that
I
was
guess I
best?
saw. Yeah, and the engine agrees with me.
Okay, yeah, I really was tortured by that decision.
Because Queen E8 is a really depressing move to play after Bishop G5.
Right. Yeah.
When you can't even take the knight back because of mate in 6, apparently.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was getting mated. I just saw, if I take back, your Queen G5 check, and then, I mean, even just like Knight F4, I didn't see a direct mate, but and perhaps actually, even more to the point, King F2, and then you're getting your rook over. So.
Yeah, and it's a very depressing position to actually play.
Yeah. So I just wasn't sure.
The engine only has spite checks for you.
Really? Yeah, I guess after King F2, my king's trapped on the H file, and Rook H1 mate is coming.
Yeah. So all the engines. The only reason it's a mate in 6 and not a mate in 2 was because you have a bunch of moves that can delay it slightly.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm guessing the engine likes. Oh, well, I guess my queen's on E8, so I wouldn't have Queen C5 check, the brilliant move. But yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely glad I didn't blunder into that mate, although I was crushed either way.
Yeah, well, that's one of my prouder games, because if you took me like maybe 3 months ago, I would never have allowed Knight A5.
Yeah.
I would have, because I was really materialistic, and I had like no idea of what activity or passive or like being passive even was in this game. So I'm proud of myself for sacking the pawn for all that activity there.
Yeah. So when I played Rook C8, you saw my idea. You saw I'm wanting to play Knight A5.
Yeah, Knight A5. I didn't think you'd actually play it because maybe you'd think I had compensation for the pawn, but I don't think. because I almost saw the idea ahead of time that the rest of your pieces, other than your C6 knight, are a bit silly.
Yeah. So I didn't see until after I had already played knight a5 that, or actually, I guess it was after you played b4, that when I take, you're going to take back with your light squared bishop, my queen's going to get pulled to c4, and then just rook ac1 is going to put me into a bind. So if I had seen that complication before knight a5, I don't know if I would have played it, but I don't think I saw that until b4 came, and then I started kind of second guessing myself, and I almost backed out and just played e5, which looks like that line just gets kind of messy. All of our pawns get messed up, but the computer seems to still favor you because it says after knight a5, yeah, it says b4 was best.
Yeah, I just saw that after knight a5 and b4. Well, your knight's your best piece, and you're trading it off for my worst piece, so that's automatically
Right.
a signal to me that I should investigate this line a bit more than I already am.
Right.
And then I saw the rest of your pieces, how they're not the greatest of all time. And then I noticed rook ac1 as an actual move instead of an imbalance that opened up a discovery on your queen that you couldn't really get rid of. Then knight d5.
Harmony.
Yeah, knight d5 was also really problematic because the end result of this was I got a pawn, but you got to trade your light square bishop for my dark square bishop, which is, I mean, it's easy to say now, especially with the computer analysis, but that's definitely worth a pawn for you because, I mean, my dark square bishop is going to be a key piece for me the entire game, and your light square bishop is pretty much just in the way of your other pieces.
It's just a brick.
Yeah, so I definitely didn't see deeply enough to see that, you know, you were going to be able to eliminate my lights or my dark square bishop with a knight. I think I was also just kind of at a point, and I was even saying this on my stream, after move 12, queen d2, I was sort of out of ideas as to like, okay, how can I improve my pieces? I mean, the only thing that I really could think to do was, you know, bring my rooks into the center. And then I kind of saw this knight a5 idea with, you know, a possible threat on b3 since you've kind of lined your queen and rook up. So I think part of the problem was I just didn't see what else to do, and this was like the only idea that I really found in the position. The computer wants me to just trade the c6 knight for the d4 knight. Now it's saying bishop d6, which would not occur to me.
Bishop d6 on like what move number?
On move 12, it looks like it's suggesting either bishop d6 or knight takes d4, neither of which I don't think I would have played.
Yeah, bishop d6 looks really paradoxical because you're blocking the d pawn, and you're planning here is to play d5.
Right.
So I don't think many people would have played bishop d6 unless they'd prepared it prior to the game.
Yeah, I would agree. That's not a very human-looking move.
Yes, I was like roughly out of book at around move 8.
I was certainly out of book before then. I mean, after we talked about the con yesterday, you know, I watched a few games, a few YouTube videos on it. So I think I was out of book after move 4. I just knew that queen c7 was a very common idea. I didn't know the move c4 at all. Like the games that I've seen in the con, I hadn't seen c4. But I guess it's
probably seen.
I guess it's a pretty common idea because I mean it's the Marazzi bind idea.
Yeah, bishop b4, bishop d2, queen b6 is apparently the engine suggested line. But here the line I have prepared personally, because I used to lose to the Khan a lot, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna prepare like a good line in this, and then never deviate from that.
Hmm.
So here knight f6 is the most played move. On move 5 instead of queen c7, and then knight f6, then queen c7 because bishop b4 immediately. I'm pretty sure runs into e5. Never mind. I don't know.
Okay, wait.
Wait, why not?
You said knight f6. You think is the best continuation on move 5?
Yeah, knight f6 is the main continuation anyway.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's
I'm
the
sorry,
most
I got
popular
confused. I was thinking knight c6, but yeah, knight f6 is the main line in the database.
Knight c6 just looks like some sort of weird Taimanov where black's pawn is on a6 instead.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding is the point of queen c7 is then if I play knight c6 and you take, I can take with my queen. So it would be weird to play knight c6 before the queen's on c7.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. So then after queen c7, you meant to play a3 because bishop b4 is a pretty thematic idea in e6 Sicilian structures.
Right. Yeah, Alonso is actually saying against the Marazzi bind, bishop b4 check is the main move he's seen in GM games. I don't know if Alonso, I don't know if you mean here on move 5, because bishop b4 check doesn't show up much in the database. Oh yeah, you're saying here.
Maybe it's shown up. Maybe it's shown up more in modern games than in old games.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. So then after a3, yeah, I don't think anyone in the world would ever play the Engine's recommended line with bishop d6. It just looks outright silly, and then it's recommending h3. What are these moves?
Huh,
Yeah,
mine's not suggesting either of those, but I certainly wouldn't really consider either one of those after a3.
After 7a3, you mean?
Oh, wait, you're looking after move 7?
I'm talking about after knight f6, knight c3, queen c7, a3.
Oh, so you're looking on move 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, mine's saying knight takes e4 or bishop d6. What? Knight takes e4? Is my engine screwing up? What's the idea with knight takes e4? I think my engine must be messed up because that move doesn't make any sense to me. Knight takes e4.
Knight takes a. Did you say? Okay. If you go back to move 5, after queen c7, instead of queen c7, just put knight f6 for me.
Oh, you're looking at a different line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, knight f6, knight c3,
queen c7, a3, bishop e7, bishop
okay.
e2, castles, bishop e3, b6, castles, bishop b7, f3. It was something like this that I had a plan for.
Okay, I think I'm a little behind you, but
yeah, if I opened up my chessable course right now, I could even show you I memorize it quite precisely.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think that 5 queen c7 is a mistake, or I mean, it seems like it's a line. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still perfectly playable. Like
right.
there's nothing bad about it. You know, it's still perfectly good move. I'm not saying it loses on the spot to some sort of brilliant pawn sacrifice on move.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to like. I can't decide how deep I want to go into learning these con lines. Like, I think usually when I'm picking up a new opening, I do best to just learn, like this, the first 4 or 5, maybe 6 moves, and then just kind of play a few games and get a feel for,
the structure.
Yeah, the structure and where I'm gonna want my pieces. So.
Yeah, that's a good way to learn an opening, but that's generally what you should do as a lower rated player, and 1900 is by no means a lower rated player. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to get better at the opening, I certainly need to be more serious about learning it. You're right about that.
But if you're like 1600, 1700, I'd definitely say that's the way to go. But since you're 1900 now, everyone knows everyone knows theory. Who you're
See,
playing?
yeah, that's what I've wondered. Is I don't really know. My average opponents around this, 1950 to 2050 range. I don't know how much theory the average player in that range knows. I mean, you obviously know theory much better, much more deeply than I do. But I mean, I've also seen players in this range that I play that I have seen them make like mistakes in the opening that I learned when I was 16, 1700. So I never really know like how well booked my opponents are. But I mean, our game yesterday definitely gave me the idea that to improve, it probably would help me to mix up my openings and learn some lines a little more deeply, because I mean, the game yesterday, you knew the line and I didn't, and you still outplayed me, but I never really had a chance after the opening, I don't think.
Yeah, so opening preparation, like I'm rarely ever out prepared in the opening. Only once or twice has happened to me recently. That's not a good thing, by the way. I should focus more on end games and tactics, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Openings also useful, but I think I put too much emphasis on those. Just learn like maybe enough variations to survive, a couple traps.
Yeah. Yeah, so ZXian in my chat saying, suggesting learning the hedgehog, that could have helped me in this line, which I thought I kind of ended up going into that sort of an idea after like b6 and bishop b7.
So the hedgehog is definitely a structure that occurred in pretty common out of the Maroczy bind to get a hedgehog structure.
Right. So those of you that are viewing my screen in the chat, is this setup more or less the hedgehog, or what am I missing that would make this a hedgehog? I thought this was sort of the basic hedgehog position. Hedgehog I got minus... Oh, I haven't played d6. Okay. Yeah, I was never really sure. I mean, I saw that, obviously, with the bind on d5, playing d5 is probably dreaming a little too big. So I wasn't really sure if I wanted to play d6 or just leave the pawn on d7. I mean, I didn't see, how white was going to use e5 and c5. And I felt maybe d6 would just block in my bishop. But, I mean, obviously it's a very common structure, so...
d6, while it does block in your bishop, what was he really doing on that diagonal anyway after b4?
True.
And more importantly, then it makes it harder for white to get a piece on e5 or to play c5, which is actually his plan in this line.
Oh, okay. I did not know that c5 was an idea. So...
Yeah, he just wants to blow open the queen side. White. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And playing d6 makes it harder.
d5.
But in the position before you played d4, what was better than d takes e4?
Okay, wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm checking a line that Alonzo's recommended.
Which one?
So, in the chat, after...
let's check your chat.
I guess after... I'm thinking he means after 11 queen d2, which was where the game kind of went off the rails.
11 queen d2.
Oh, well, he's saying not here in this position. Oh, maybe it is this position. Anyway, the line he's saying is knight e5, bishop f4, d6, bishop takes e5, d takes e5, and that's fine for black.
But I don't think the capture on e5 is forced.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. That does seem unusual to me to give up your dark squared bishop.
If I was playing white, I doubt I would give up my only good bishop for the e5
Yeah.
knight, I'd probably just play f4 instead.
Yeah, he's saying it's not forced, but it's just an idea. I mean, yeah, my knight on e5 is pressuring c5 or c4 rather, which was an idea in the game. So I can certainly believe that my knight on e5 is a more natural and more flexible piece than the knight going to a5. I probably got drawn in by this idea of playing knight b3 with a fork, but that was never allowed.
If I didn't have that move rook ac1, I doubt I would. It would be definitely losing for me if I didn't have rook ac1.
Yeah, agree. Most people trade on d4 here. Yeah, I mean, as you said, pass pawn. I mean, my knight on c6 seems like a good piece. I mean, I guess the knight on d4 is good too, and I have less space, so trading pieces makes sense. And if your bishop or your queen comes to d4, I don't really know what is being done there. I guess you can maybe get some pressure down the d file.
Or along the a1, h8 diagonal. Because if I take with the bishop, there's queen g5 ideas.
Okay. Yeah.
Not queen g5 right away. I'm just saying there's like.
Yeah, it's just a possibility.
Maybe in a later variation, I might get an attack with queen g5.
Yeah.
Or you have to avoid playing a certain move that would achieve equality if it went for queen g5.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Less space should trade for better in game and just need white to overextend. Yeah, that makes total sense, Zexian.
But from move 13 to 26, we actually both played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, I felt like I'm a little disappointed that the computer thinks that, I was just playing from behind the whole time. I felt like it was a well-played game, but yeah, you just had too much compensation. You had too much activity.
We both actually played pretty well in that game. The main thing, well, it says you were playing from behind the whole time, but that's not factoring in the fact that white generally has an advantage out of the opening.
Yeah, true.
So you're playing from like d8 was apparently an inaccuracy that would have led me to a win.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second. What move?
Yeah, and then apparently rook ac8 was a bit too, in my opinion, rook easy.
I'm sorry, you cut out again. Sorry, one more time.
Oh, sorry. I think rook ac8 was a bit lazy for the position,
Yeah, well, in hindsight, I completely agree. It was sort of so on move 12 there, I was already looking at this knight a5 idea, but I thought queen d3 was fine in that line. So the idea of rook ac8 was to just add some more pressure to c8, so that knight a5 could actually threaten to win that pawn. But yeah, obviously this idea of knight a5 and maybe e5 to get in knight b3 just wasn't quite cutting it.
So here the engine actually doesn't want to allow knight a5 at all. It wants to play b4.
Okay, you're looking at after rook ac8. Yeah, and I mean b4 seems like a normal move for the position anyway, and then yeah, I don't know what the point of rook ac8 is after you play b4. So I probably needed to find a deeper idea.
Yeah, I've beaten a few Sicilian players who just kind of went through the same old thematic moves all the time, because when you're playing a Sicilian defense, you need to treat each position individually instead of saying, I don't know what to play here, but I know a6 is played a lot in this sort of thing, so I'm just going to play that.
Right. Well, I'm certain that I said that at least once or twice during the game. So yeah,
like the main thing that's wrong with it is I remember seeing someone lose against Mikhail Talin. I think it was a what's this? I think it was a Scheveningen Sicilian
Hmm.
where Tal beat someone because he played a6 as a kind of lazy, half-hearted move.
Yeah.
And then another similar game with Queen c7 played instead of a6.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the idea that I was missing on move 12 is I mean exactly like what's been suggested in the chat is that I'm playing without a lot of space and just trading pieces actually makes sense for me. So, taking the knight on d4 does make sense from that standpoint. I mean, I think after knight takes and bishop takes or queen takes, I'm not sure. I guess probably bishop takes. I think I still might be short of ideas, but at least I wouldn't have gone for this adventure on a5.
Yeah, when it comes to the engines, just as a rule of thumb, anything above +1 is winning for someone.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, I would.
yeah. So you had equality, but then rook a8 came.
Right.
Because before rook a8, you actually had equality according to Stockfish.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Yeah.
0.2, which I think for non-super GMs can probably be safely called equality.
Well, even for a super GM, it's equality.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to contradict you for last statement, but if you have +1, it doesn't mean really actually winning, but it's preferred for the side. If you want to have +2, that's winning.
+2, I
Picky
wouldn't think +2 would be winning outright.
compared
It'd
to
still be
+1.
like I think oh sorry yeah +1 sorry I thought you meant like +0.1 +0.2 yeah
That's
+1
+1 +2. Yeah.
because +1 is just saying white has an advantage and black has no compensation basically.
Yeah.
So +1 would probably be winning, although it'd
Yeah.
be difficult to convert.
Yep, for sure. And +2 is like various. Obviously, if best play goes around, one side will be winning. And it has a plus or -2. I've seen this like from Lisa's engines for sure. They are very picky. They over exaggerate their advantage, but I'll say that +1 or -1 is like preferred one side, but not actually winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely on that.
That's why it's like legends, especially Lichess legends, they're not the most accurate, but they're picky sometimes.
Picky sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
In any
Oh,
case,
wow.
I mean, I think for me in this game, I think really I found the wrong middle game plan is what it came down to. Even though I was, depending on your definition of winning or not, where it was around +1 for white for most of the middle game after I sort of got my pieces into a bind. So I think just the takeaway for me is, regardless of what the computer's saying, this just wasn't a good plan, and I didn't have any kind of active play really after winning the pawn. I was on the defensive the entire game.
Yeah, when it comes to a sharp opening like the Sicilian, consider each position individually as opposed to just saying,
Right.
you know what, rooks on c8, they get played. That's a lot that happens a lot in Grandmaster games in Sicilian. I'm going to do that now. You have to just assess each position as if it's a completely different game.
Right. Yeah.
That's one thing I've found personally.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
And on move on move 21 after on move 22 after you played g5, I was saying on my stream, if I wanted to go full pansy mode, I could have played bishop g5 and gone for a draw.
Yeah, I wondered if that was possible, but I figured I agreed with your analysis that you could draw, but I didn't see any reason that I should fear playing g5.
Because if I get it, because trying to get pieces into the attack would take too long. You set
Right.
up a defensive. You set up a defensive, and then I'd just lose like a patzer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for bishop takes g5, but that didn't happen. There were a few moments where I thought I was kind of laying some traps. The other one that comes to mind, let me find it. Oh yeah, it was actually on move 24 after knight takes g5. I thought you might want to play bishop back to h4 and reestablish the pin.
Yeah, I was half considering that. In all honesty, I almost wanted to play that, but and you know that knight f3 runs into taking with the knight.
Right, I saw that. I was planning knight h3, and then I would get the bishop for the knight. I didn't see a tactical flaw with that.
Yeah, that's because there wasn't a tactical flaw with that.
Yeah.
You just pick better.
Yeah, I don't.
And
Yeah, let's see.
All my...
Oh yeah, it does say black is actually much better. About 1.4, 1.6 after knight h3.
Yeah, so bishop h4, I was considering it. I even said on my stream after I played knight e2. Sorry, I even said on my stream, I'll play bishop h4, and then I realized, wait a minute, bishop h4 runs into me losing all the compensation I have.
Yeah.
And losing like a dumb.
I mean, it's hard to lay off of bishop h4 because it just looks like that's so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, bishop h4 would. I think I just got to follow.
Yeah, I followed you.
Thank you, Metal Eagle.
Pleasure.
All right.
So yeah, I was hoping you'd fall for that one, but you didn't. You haven't fallen for any of my stuff yet, so.
I almost did.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. And then I was hoping to kind of, like, I was seeing maybe in some positions, like before you played bishop d8, like if ever we trade some pawns, I guess there was really no way to ever make it work, but I was looking at ideas of like bishop takes f3 with the idea of the knight coming to f3 with a fork, but I didn't have nearly enough time to make that happen.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, it was a good idea, and I was always on the lookout for some sort of idea to make knight f3 work.
Yeah. Yeah, I just completely didn't see bishop d8. I think that's a really nice move to find because it looks sort of unnatural moving the bishop to your opponent's back, or to the back rank like that. But yeah, that was just crushing.
It does look unnatural, but it's the winning move, and you did find
absolutely.
the best try against it because queen e8, like we discussed before, runs into a mate in 6.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't even sure. Well, once I saw the idea of f4, I was pretty sure I was lost. Before I saw that, I wasn't too sure if it was possible to hold or not. But your 2-1 on the queen side is just going to be really difficult. I thought once I managed to get my bishop to c4 that would provide some resistance, but I mean after like rook b8 and then you're able to play b4 or b5 rather and just get the passer, there was really no way to hold the position. Yeah,
and that's the plan I followed because it's the most obvious one.
Yeah.
I didn't really like on move 43. I didn't really like b7 because it throws away a lot of my advantage since my rook is a bit tied down to the b7 pawn.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always. I mean, there's always the rook h8 bailout, I guess, because bishop b7, rook h6, but then because you're only down in exchange, and all my pawns are on dark squares, meaning a bishop on f5 would probably restrict them a lot. Are you seeing the? Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Sorry,
or-
you kind of cut out for a lot of that. But
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I agree with you that leaving the pawn on a light square where I can't really do anything with it makes sense. And I mean, again, I think rook f8 was really strong. I mean, obviously you're completely winning regardless, but I thought rook f8 was a nice move to really just put it away. I wanted to resign after rook f8, but I figured I would just make you prove that you saw you could play rook f7 regardless of what I did. Because yeah, I mean, there's just nothing really I can do to stop you.
Yeah.
My only hope, after move 43 was, like you said, if you played b7, then I was probably going to have to debate between king f5 and king h5 just to get out of the way of rook g8 with check. But then you could even play like g4 check and eventually
Rook h8.
Yeah, and I mean rook h8 I'm sure. Well, let's see.
Yeah, so then after 44 b7, although it was still probably completely winning for me, you'd have more drawing chances because because after something like rook h8, let's just say you played some legal move f6, never mind not f6, that's a mate, but king h3 for example. If I played rook h8, then bishop b7, rook h6, king g4, it'd be a much harder endgame to convert, and it'd be harder not to draw.
There's no reason for you to give away your b pawn. There's nothing I can do to come win it. I'm not gonna, even in my wildest dreams, my king's not gonna be able to walk back over there because your rook's gonna go take my other pawns, or your rook's gonna prevent me from approaching with the king.
There was one point in the game where I was also considering sacking even more material.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was somewhere after bishop c4.
Let's see, where was that?
Yeah, I was considering, I think, knight e6.
Oh, wait.
Actually, not in that position, sorry. I was considering knight e6 here, in the position on move 18.
Oh, I'm way off.
Instead of rook c8. With the point that fe, rook c8, bishop c8, bishop b6.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. On move
18.
Move 18, you wanted knight e7?
Knight e6.
Not knight e6.
Yeah, I was considering knight e6.
Right. Yeah, I didn't see that was an idea.
Just because I saw because sometimes I just kind of calculate moves and just blunder material in the hope that it's a sort of brilliant sacrifice.
Right. Well, I think there's value in doing that because, sometimes you'll be right.
I've rarely been right.
No. Yeah, so
Although I do try.
So what was the idea there after FE?
After FE, rook c8, bishop c8, there's bishop b6. And knight e7 check, queen e7, bishop c5. I get the exchange for two pieces, but your two pieces aren't exactly the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what the computer thinks. It says you're still better, but kind of an unnecessary flourish.
Yeah, it's kind of flexing.
Right. That might have had a psychological impact on me, though.
I know I'd get a bit pissed off if my opponent played that.
Yeah, that's a nice move.
Okay.
That's
nice move,
you saw that line perfectly.
That's
exactly what the computer wants to do. But it's changing its mind and saying black is maybe a hair better.
Yeah, and anyway, I didn't see a good way to continue pushing that line for a win, so I just chose to continue with my line I'd thought of after queen c4.
Yeah. yeah, that was the correct decision, obviously. So
And I'm glad it was.
yeah. Well, yeah, that was a great game. I mean, um, I think that was a much higher quality game than the one we played yesterday. So I'm at least happy that I gave you more of a fight this time.
Yeah, this time you only had a couple errors that actually lost it. It's like
Yeah,
your first losing error was with rook c8, and from there, really just d4. Like, wasn't so much the move that lost the game. It was just the move that made it even more losing because you could have put up a better fight.
yeah, yeah. And I was really, I mean, I'd wanted to play d4 for a while because I was just worried about losing that pawn. And I mean, so on after your 92 on move 25, you know, my d pawn's hanging, my b pawn's hanging. So I was just trying to come up with the most productive way to lose a pawn. The computer actually wants me to play f5. I guess the idea to open up my rook, which makes some sense.
Because I played 92 because I saw that, well, my knight, although it looked pretty, wasn't actually doing much. You know, it wasn't
Just getting in the
pressuring
way
any
of your other
squares.
pieces, yeah.
Yeah, because pretty much all the squares it could go to were all restricted by your pawns.
Right.
So, although it looks attractive to keep him there on d4, he's not doing much. All he's doing is getting in the way of the bishop's attack on b6.
Right.
So I wanted to remaneuver him, hopefully to f4 or g3, or at least improve my bishop a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, f5 is a really bold move to play after 92. Just, I mean, ignoring that I've got two pawns hanging.
Yeah, it's like, you going back, I'm going to go forward.
Right, yeah. I mean, I guess that's like the only way to try to play for counterplay here, but
So I think you do have active counterplay, but I don't think it's enough.
yeah. Yeah. So that was a tough position. I mean, I wasn't sure at this point, you know, if I was equal, if you were a little better, if I was a little better. I didn't think there was a huge edge either way. So
Yeah,
I think maybe that if I thought that I was -1, which I was, then maybe I would have been more reluctant to play d4 or d5 rather. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that when we went over the game with an engine, it would say that that allowing knight a5 was a mistake or an inaccuracy. But I decided to allow it anyway because I saw that I had at least active compensation and active counterplay.
Right.
And if there's one thing I've learned from Tiles games, even the most unsound sacrifices can become sound.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So, I guess now that I'm looking at it, I probably should care more about losing my b pawn than losing the d pawn. Like, I think if I had to do it over again, I probably would. I don't know. I was hesitant to play b5.
Probably would not play knight a5.
No. I'm sorry. I'm looking after on move 25 after 92 when I played d5.
When you played d5, what would you have played instead?
Well, I'm just thinking now. I think that allowing you to take b6 gave you this 2-1 on the queen side that sort of ensured that any endgame is going to be winning for you. So, I mean, I was hesitant. I didn't want to play b5 because I really didn't want to give up c5 to... Well, I guess right away c5.
You didn't want to drop an exchange?
Yeah, I guess I didn't even notice that right now c5, bishop c5 just wins an exchange.
Yeah, but I can see why you didn't cf5, or at least if you did cf5, play it, because it seems a bit over the top.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm just wondering, like... And I guess it doesn't work tactically, but I think I should have been thinking more about saving my b pawn than saving the d pawn, just because I need to try to, you know, keep the pawns somewhat symmetrical so that in an end game you're not going to be able to push through.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree with you entirely on that because your counterplay lies on the king side since you have a majority there, and as you can see, I don't really have the best king side, so you should have tried maintaining your queen side before because as you saw, allowing the capture on b6 resulted in a 2-1 majority later in the game
Right.
that got my passed b pawn into action.
Right. Yeah,
You,
and I
you
mean
follow me?
that just made it an easier, well, pretty easy for you to win an end game with that majority over there, especially with my king all the way over on g8. So I mean, I guess in this specific position, tactically, I can't really defend b6, but I'm just thinking of like improvements to my thought process. I think I should have given more weight to trying to save b6, even though in this specific instance it's probably not
Yeah,
possible. Like queen d8's
even though-
probably too passive.
But I'm just going to investigate the f5 line to just see why the engine's recommending that.
Okay.
Bishop c6, rook d6, bishop b5, knight c3 takes. Knight takes. Bishop there. Okay, so you hold on to your kingside pawns apparently. I think that's what it's saying. You hold on to your kingside, maybe even develop a little blockade on the queen side against my pawns.
Man, it just seems like your rook on the 6th rank is going to take all my pawns.
Yeah, your bishop does get to c6 to b5.
Yeah, we might not be on the same move, but
Which move are you on?
let's see. I'm on 29, and your knight has made it to c3, and my bishop's going to be a goner. So
Move 29 main game or move 29?
I know, I'm sorry. In this line after f5, I was just playing the computer best moves. So I played f5, queen takes d7, queen takes d7, rook takes d7, bishop c6, rook d6, bishop b5,
Knight c3?
knight c3. Yeah.
I'm in that position now.
Yeah, and now it's suggesting, I mean, okay, I can take on e4, but it wants you to take out my bishop, and yeah, it just seems like it's going to be tough for me to hold any of my pawns. Like, your rook is just, I mean, all of my pawns are isolated. Your rook is already on the rank with 3 of them, and it just seems like everything's going to fall, but the computer thinks this is better than what happened, which that probably is true.
Next time I send you a challenge, I'm going to give you black. I'm going to give you white. You've had white.
Yeah, I have
in the
had
past,
black twice, yeah.
and I think it's a bit unfair.
Well, yeah, I mean, it evens out in the end, so I'm not too worried. And also, I mean, I wanted to play the con in this stream, so I've almost been rooting for getting black this stream just because I want to get some con experience.
Yeah, I also root for getting black because, well, I like my opening repertoire out of it. Pretty fun, exciting stuff.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, so maybe next time we'll get colors reversed.
Yeah. When should next time be? By the way, when do you want to do it?
I mean, really, I don't have a schedule like at all. I kind of just.
Will you be online tomorrow?
I probably will be. It's just most days I feel like streaming, but some days I'm just like, I'd rather just sit and do nothing instead. So I'll probably be on tomorrow night and could play tomorrow. I won't promise, but I probably will.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I don't really have a schedule either. I just kind of do what I want when I want. I've been streaming more lately because of coronation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same. Okay. Well, yeah. Then I would say more than likely, let's play again tomorrow, and maybe I can get on the board.
Yeah. And best of luck to you with your getting the Khan on the board. It's a good opening, respectable.
Yeah, I think it was a good suggestion from you and Alonso for me to look into that. It seems like
the Khan was Alonso's suggestion. I was talking about the Taimanov.
Yeah, okay, that's true. All right, I'll give credit to Alonso then.
Taimanov and Khan can be similar sometimes.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Blitz games that I've played out of the con have been really fun. so I'm kind of hooked on the Khan. Like every game I've played,
Khan.
they've played Bishop E3, which is actually a mistake because of the Bishop B4 idea. And then they get into this crazy pin, and then like I think I've played like two or three Blitz games with it now. They end up casting queenside, and I get my queen and rook on the c file, and it's just fun for black. Like whether or not I'm winning, I just have all the active play. So
Was that your first loss in the Khan?
It might have been. So when I first started, I think you saw when I first started this stream, I was having connectivity issues, and I lost a game because I was like trying to fiddle with my internet, and I just hung a piece. But now that I think about it, I think I was white in a QGD, so that might have been my first loss in the Khan. So the spell is broken.
I remember, yeah, because whenever I switch to a new opening, I always get this like 5 winning streak with it, and then start losing all my games.
Yeah.
And then it evens out again. So now to think about it, I should switch openings constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the past 2 nights have kind of inspired me to mix up my openings some, because I've really just played the same thing, the same, types of openings, just kind of on autopilot for the past several years. So it's probably time to mix things up and find some lines that are a little more suited to my tastes.
Thank you for the follow, Joy, JOCE. Is that it? Yeah. So I remember reading somewhere this international master was saying that if you want to improve your chess, play openings that don't suit you at all.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good advice because it forces you to
learn new ideas and structures.
Right, yeah, and it's just reinforcing, different mental pathways than the same thing you've seen over and over again. So yeah, I think that's definitely good advice. So I need to mix it up some more.
Yeah, like if you're a positional player, try E4 out. If you're if you like sharp games, try D4. I actually played D4 for a few months. Because I wanted to improve my positional play, and that was actually the time period in which I beat that CM I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I prepared like a 30-move deep analysis against him, and I was taking out of it on move 3.
Yeah, that's frustrating, but at least you got the win.
Yeah, he plays the QGA.
Oh yeah.
Who followed? Thanks for the follow, Alonzo. Yeah, I know it's UJ. Yeah, so if you go back, if you go back to move 1, because I want to show you the line he played.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so go into the Queen's Gambit. He plays the accepted variation, but
right.
Yeah, and I played E3, and when I saw his games in this variation, normally he plays E6.
I'm sorry, he plays what?
E6 after 3 E3 in
this
the
This is the exact line that I play in the QGA. As white, E3, sorry, I don't play it as black.
Yeah, and then he usually plays E6, so I prepared really deeply for E6, and I prepared like 1 or 2 variations for E5 just in case, and I was right to do that because he actually did play E5. With the idea that white gets up in IQP, but he has compensation with all the activity. Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I mean, spoiler alert for whenever I get white, but I play D4 only, so I get a lot of QGDs, and occasionally I get a QGA, and I always play E3. I know that it's not considered to be the best continuation, but I've had so many players fall into this trap line that I'm just
trap with
Queen F3 eventually.
Yeah, it's trap with E3, B5, A4, C6, takes Queen F3.
Yep, and I've had so many people fall into that I just play it, and like even relatively high rated players. I mean, someone fell into it. I think earlier today I was playing someone who fell into it. So it has a soft spot. I have a soft spot for this line. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen someone play E5 against me, though. I see E6 a lot, and I usually just take the pawn and figure it out from there. I can't remember if I've seen E5.
I've seen E5 quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I think e6 is what I see most commonly, unless they play b5. And then I think I've
the
also
king-
seen like knight f6.
I think the King's Indian is what I see, like one of the most common openings.
Yeah, I get a lot of that too, since I'm playing d4 a lot, or well,
What do you
exclusively.
what do you choose against the King's Indian?
You're giving me too much credit for like knowing ideas like more deeply than move 6 or so. So,
Oh, okay.
I mean,
In the King's Indian, I after c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. I play knight f3, castles, bishop e2,
okay.
and then the
Okay,
main
wait,
line
sorry.
here.
Run that line back for me again. d4,
So
knight f6, c4, g6.
knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, knight f3, castles, bishop e2.
Okay, go back to d6. Oh, that's e6. d6. Then
Knight f3.
Okay, knight f3. Yeah, This is what I play too. He castles.
d6. So not d6. Sorry. Bishop e2. So
But black castles.
knight f3, castle, bishop e2.
Bishop e2. Yeah, this is exactly what I play.
Yeah, and then here the main line is e5.
Yeah,
and
I play d5.
yeah,
I usually play d5.
The most popular move there is castle.
Yeah.
d5 is also a move. I'm pretty sure it's called the Petrosian system. It was played in a Fischer versus Tal game, and Tal won that game with a really weird looking Zugzwang.
Yeah, I don't know historical games, but yeah, Lichess is terming it the Petrosian variation, which I didn't know. But yeah, I like d5 because then Black has to figure out what he's going to do about the dark square bishop.
I actually play d5 because King's Indian players, they play the King's Indian because they want really complicated, insane play, and d5 kind of frustrates them. So although on the board it's even, I get a bit of a psychological advantage here.
Yeah.
And then
trying to think of some like common things that I've had happen in this line. It seems like some players don't know that they need to play. Like they don't know that they need to play
the Samish
f5.
variation.
I'm sorry, what variation?
Alonso wants you to learn the Samish variation.
Oh, with f3.
Yeah.
So is that after?
Hey Jay, how's it going?
After d6, I would play f3. Yeah.
Oh, my stream appears to have disconnected.
No, that's no good.
Yeah.
So I do find myself often wanting to play f3 because I don't want his knight or his bishop coming to g4. And like especially if f5's coming, I feel like I want f3 in, and f5 should be coming, but a lot of times it seems like they don't do that for some reason.
What about against against the Grunfeld?
Grunfeld? Oops, I just went.
You know what the Grunfeld is, right?
Yeah. So I might get the move order wrong, but d4, knight f6, c4,
I'm a
g6.
Grunfeld player myself, and so I know what the most testing lines are there.
So I take on d5, and then he takes
e4.
Yeah, so he usually takes with the knight, or I guess he pretty much always does, and then I play e4. And then here I've seen knight f6, I've seen knight b6, I've seen knight takes c3.
Yeah, knight c3 is the only move.
Yeah.
You should see.
Yeah, and
if I play anything else, I have no idea what a Grunfeld is.
Yeah. I think knight takes c6 is what I see most. And then
a variation.
This is kind of the point where I stop thinking about the opening, and I'm already happy because I've got e4 and d4, and I know that I have to watch out for like c5 and the dark square bishop crushing me on this diagonal.
Yeah, so then it's bishop g7, bishop c4, c5, and knight e2 because knight f3, and although knight f3 is not losing, white's not worse, but bishop g4 becomes an idea later in the game. So knight e2 is the main move there.
So you want to have f3 available?
Yeah, and
I don't think I've ever played even bishop c4. I'm trying to think.
And then knight c6, bishop e3, both players castle, and queen c7's a move there. The Keres system, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you've looked at these lines much more deeply than I have. I'm trying to
It's
think.
not a good thing.
Well, there's good and bad, but
Yeah. I might just shut my stream off, give my computer a little time to recover.
Yeah, if you're still having issues. But yeah, I don't think I've ever played bishop c4 here. I think I probably usually just play like knight f3, which looks like it's the second most common move.
Yeah, I suffer from the disease of analyzing the opening way too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing to know. And I mean, okay, we've only played 2 games, but you've been better out of the opening both times. And I mean, if you're better out of the opening every game, then as long as you're not just making tactical blunders in the middle game, you're gonna get to a better end game, and
which is harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So yeah, my game plan for our next game is I'm gonna have to survive the opening and in the middle game
play some like b3.
Yeah, I can't do that, but
I can suggest you another move to play against Grunfeld.
Oh yeah, the Grunfeld. What's that?
Against the Grunfeld. So instead of e4, if you go back of the opening before you do e4, there's bishop d2, which is a very sharp line, but it's really good. Well, not really sharp line, but it's really just steps out of the boundaries that black used to do. So bishop d2 right now.
Well, you're saying before bishop e2, but the thing is, bishop e2 is illegal.
Bishop d2.
Oh, bishop d2. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So they take the knight on c3. I'll take with the bishop.
But they don't have to take the knight on c3 though. They can play knight b6.
Yeah, so you can do that one. Yeah, take with the bishop. So you can do. They can't do the c5 move that you used to.
Yeah. So bishop g7's probably here because unless white plays e4, you're not going to take on c3. It's just a waste of a move.
Yeah, but
they might still do it.
They might still do
it. They might if they don't really understand what a Grunfeld is.
I would guess that a lot of players in the 1900 range, they're so used to e4 and then taking on c3 that they're just going to take on c3 regardless.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they have it pre-moved.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think I'm a sucker for, if I can get e4 and d4 as white, I feel like I've achieved something in the opening.
You feel like you're on top of the world.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, just help with your prep for tomorrow, if you do prepare. I play the Grunfeld as black.
Okay.
I play the Grunfeld as black, and the 4 Knights Sicilian as black as well.
Okay, well, you're not going to have to worry about the Sicilian because I'm not going to play e4.
Fair enough.
So, okay, well, I probably won't book up, but maybe if I get bored, I will.
Yeah, if you book up, it's still perfectly acceptable to book up.
Yeah.
It's just a friendly game, so you're not gonna spend all night preparing these novelties.
Right.
Find this brilliant sacrifice on move 5, on move 50 or something.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm probably about to shut down my stream. It's midnight here, so I probably need to get going.
It's 4:08 p.m. here. Yeah. Anyway, it's been fun. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for the game, and and look forward to the next one.
And as last time, it was a fun analysis. So thank you for that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have a good night.
All right. Yeah, you do the same. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Another interesting day of games. Still not quite to my 2,000 goal, but I'm flirting with it. I'm at 1981, which I'm still pretty happy with. So there's always tomorrow. So yeah, thanks again, Alonzo, for all your help. And 2K tomorrow. That's the goal. That's the plan. So yeah, and come join us on Discord if anyone hasn't already. That's proving to be a very useful tool. I didn't anticipate how useful it would be. So, okay, well, see all y'all later. Hope everyone has a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, all that good stuff.